expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of members of People for a Better Future.
Save our future. Do something now for your children and for me.
Yes, we're back here with the second segment. Welcome back. This is the Harry Thomas Show, Week in Review. I'm Harry Thomas, your host. And I do want to stress that the views that you hear on this show do not necessarily represent those of all our members. We have a diversified crowd here, folks. You know, we have all different kinds of people who believe different things about religion and have different political views. And, you know, I was notified by a few of our local members that they were a little disturbed with my positioning on a few subjects and calling, you know, President Bush, Lord Bush, and references to King Bush and things about, you know, the Bohemian Grove and stuff. And, you know, this information is disturbing, you know, and everyone reacts in a different way. But the main issue here is that we all agree that we're against the project for a new American century. And we're against globalization and global government. You can visit us at harrythomas.nzfreeservers.com, and you know, you could look at the articles that we're talking about and the things that, you know, we're talking about. Remember, you know, you can be a member by signing up for the newsletter just by asking. Go to the website, email us. You can send us a P.O. Box. We got a P.O. Box, Harry Thomas, P.O. Box 883. Syracuse, New York, 13206, and this is also where you can write the People for a Better Future. You can write them by writing People for a Better Future, P.O. Box 883, Syracuse, New York, 13206. You can request a copy of our show. You can request a copy of our newsletter. You can even make a little 5 minutes or less clip. You got a rant, you got something you need to say, you're a member. If it's on topic, we ain't going to be able to get into them all, of course, but, you know, if it's on topic and we can use it, we will. You know, and that's another way to have your voice heard. We covered a lot of news in the first segment, you know, and you know, and a lot of this, you know, stuff coming out is, you know, attitudes that people have been being shaped by the media and stuff. And we have a guest on right now. He's a member of the People for a Better Future. And last week we were talking about his run-in trying to awaken people that just seem to have a warped view on things. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, Harry. How you doing? Nice to be here.
Good to have you.
Well,
tell us a little bit about what happened to you last week. And you were getting lunch. And I told the listeners last week, but we might have new listeners and stuff didn't hear the story.
Well, you know, I was just at the local tavern by where I live, getting lunch, and got into the discussion of politics, which I know better than to do that with people who have been drinking. But it happened, and we started talking, and he did not like my views on how I felt about Bush, mainly. And he was very gung-ho, Marine, my brother served and served for this country, and that's just kind of the way it went, and it just got escalated, and he got very angry and stood up. And I'm a small guy. He was a pretty big guy, and he just, you know, wanted to start throwing his weight around, which is basically fascism.
Yeah, you know, that's the way a lot of things are going now in America is when people speak out against the government, they take it as an attack on our military and our families that are in there and stuff, and that's just not the case. See, we want a better future. We are everywhere. We are people who have in the military. We are people who have family members in the military. We are people concerned about the military's health, their well-being. We're concerned about, you know, today, you know, this week in the news was the deadliest day in Iraq on record of the way they keep the tallies anyway. 37 dead in one day.
It's just unbelievable what's going on over there. I can't even keep up on half the news that's going on over there, and I almost don't want to because it's just ridiculous that we're still over there.
And that's what it is. It's a bombardment of a bunch of information, news. And it's spinned up and very confusing, and people don't want to look at it. It comes in barrages. I mean, this week alone was maddening. And I'm going to have to get to the point where I'm going to have to take a couple days off from the news myself, because it's just too much. They throw it all out there, and it's all out there in our faces, and it's just so much. It's overwhelming. People don't know how to interface with the information.
Well, that's what kills me. Is like I know people who are very deeply concerned about what's going on, but they can't stomach the news. They can't watch it anymore. I go and I talk about these things to certain people, and they're upset by the time I leave their house. And I don't want to upset people, but that's what happens because it's so disturbing and so realistic. It's there. It's upon us, and we have to do something about it.
Yeah, a lot of people they can't handle it. Now, some people are just not. It's that old saying again. You can't handle the truth. And
Yeah.
it's true. Some people cannot handle the truth, and then some people will resist the truth, and that's where we're getting into the military. And I believe, I've seen people go in the military that never come out the same. They have mind control projects going on here through the CIA in America, and I believe they implement them in the military pretty fierce, especially with the militarization of our police. And the end of commie passes now.
Well, we're under control of the government right now in the military. We're not under police control. They have control of us. The military is basically controlling us right now too.
Yeah, the military-industrial complex is owned by rich corporations, and it's in their best interest to keep the wars going. And that's why we're not going to stop. On the website, in the front page, there's a link to the New Yorker, and they have a whole article on the coming wars. Not only have we already been bombing Pakistan and Syria, we already have plans laid up already to go into Iran, and Israel is pushing for it. And then we have threats from other countries that say they're going to nuke if we don't chill out.
Isn't Korea right up there? They're not awful happy with us right now
Korea,
either.
China, we've been being threatened almost daily in China's newspapers being nuked. It's very scary. And the thing is, the American public don't even know. The average American person and the average European, the average Asian, the average African, South American, Central American, they don't know what's going on.
Oh, across the board. You can go and ask anyone on the street, and they think that there's only one war going on right now.
Yeah.
One war.
Yeah.
If they even think that that's still going on.
There's all kinds of wars. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
There's never been not stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, we covered a lot of false news reports, that came out. There's a lot of that going on where, the media has just turned into the public relations voice for the administration.
Well, I almost don't even blame the media as much, because as far as I'm concerned, they're being fear tactic too, because they're only allowed to speak what they want them to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't bring us the full news, and when they do, they get.
It's called controlled propaganda, mind control. I know you were excited about the response we got to the show this week and donated 50 DVDs to the cause.
Yeah, absolutely.